Hello folks, how are you? Welcome to another episode, this time very difficult for me, very important at the same time. It may become chaotic, so please forgive me this, but yet it is really worthy, I hope so, it will be worthy to stay with me till the end, because I will try to cover some issues normally never covered by other channels. You may be surprised. Maybe there will be some words that you wouldn't expect them from a vegan channel or vegan activist. What you may expect today, I will interpret Frank Tufano's channel, giving him as much of my time and my attention as he deserves. I will try to give some psychological advice to professional psychologist, PhD. What is gonna be very uncomfortable for me, especially that I am supporting her activity and her vegan activism and her channel, of course. I'm also fully aware how rude it's gonna be. The more I know how challenging is gonna be today's episode. I will also introduce a little bit of Garland Farms channel's video. I will focus especially on one video to explain how we should look at it, what kind of attention it deserves. But before I go to horror stories, I want to share with you my happiness, because Earthling Ed today really made my day. The news about his sanctuary plan gave me so much hope and happiness. And this is also something I will get back to it probably later. Of course, depends how many topics I will start today, because I know how much I want to say. And if it's gonna take too much time, I may cut this whole topic into maybe even several episodes. I will see, because there is so much I want to say. If about Earthling Ed, it's also interesting because so many people were discussing what he's doing with this huge money he is earning or funds he's receiving for his animal activism. And so now we see what he's doing with the money. He's opening huge sanctuary for animals. I am so happy about this. And this is also a very important motive in my further narrative. Okay, let's go now to the video from Garland Farms channel. Actually, this is the video from I don't know whom. One vegan activist. If you recognize the guy, if you know his name, please tell me in the comment. Who is this guy? What is the name of a channel? Where can I find this original video? Because I will use a small part of the video from Garland Farms channel. The video's title is Vegan Anger, Illness and Ignorance. Let's see, just a short part.
It touches me right into the fucking heart. Our human species is so selfish to the point where we don't even give a shit about other animals, about other individuals. They want to live, they have personalities, and you are taking that away from them when you say, I'm no longer vegan because I get sick. I can't do that. The social pressure is too great. Deep down, look at yourself and at your own freaking behaviors. You'd understand that these animals don't deserve to freaking die. These animals don't deserve to be bred into a miserable existence. A miserable existence where they get to be fucking fed disgusting food, treated like fucking shit, to then have a fucking knife right across their throat after a very, very short life where you were supposed to live 25 years. Nah, we'll just let you live 4. You are contributing to the biggest massacre our generation, our societies has ever seen on other individuals, on other sentient beings. Limit your consumption of animal foods and get to the point where you no longer use any Because these animals are dying every single fucking day because of your fucking silly choices. Because you don't want to put pressure on society. Because you don't want to change. You want change, but you don't want to change yourself.
What did you see in this short part? Of course, we can predict what was before, what is gonna be after. Just we see what this guy is talking about, what he feels. I could see some true feelings. I could see open, bleeding heart. Something what I will always consider a holy thing. Not only me. This is holy thing also for the God. As you know, I'm going to cover and develop the whole series about God existence, afterlife, spirituality and so on. But right now I will tell you that whenever I go to God with these kind of feelings, God is listening to my prayers perfectly and fulfills them until the smallest details of what I am asking. Because this kind of feeling, of true emotion, of empathy, of compassion, it's a holy thing for the God. Jesus himself so many times in his life presented this kind of attitude, emotions. I understand that if Garland Farms is mocking this man, he's probably doing the same for Jesus, and probably he's laughing at his sacrifice. JD, this is your name, yes? Or short of, I don't know, John David, I don't know. This is a very bad thing what you did in this video. Are you already aware or not yet? Think about it. Because I can tell you right now, if you ever in future pray to the God for maybe over your sick, terribly sick relative, the God may tell you, go and kiss this guy or Nika's ass first. This was from the spiritual point of view, but let's look at this situation, this whole situation psychologically. If you see anybody overwhelmed with huge, true emotions, we should always respect that. Doesn't matter, even if it's the picture of some psychological imbalance, history, doesn't matter. We are stigmatizing, as society, we are stigmatizing history, and you guys probably are not even aware how horrible a thing it is, and how much we should fight with this, because we are stigmatizing overwhelming emotions. But are they any bad thing? Is it anything unrealistic, untrue, schizophrenic? Garland Farms claims that this guy is in psychosis. He calls his state and kind of pathology called zoophil psychosis. Jesus Christ. I wrote to him that in this case, obviously we can call any love a psychosis, and of course romantic love or maternal love, the more will be, we may call a psychosis, because I don't think he's getting so much dopamine and he's so much addicted to this love as romantic love addictive can be, or sex. What is happening here I will call a pure sadism, psychological abuse. And all those horrible comments below are coming from true psychopathic, sadistic people. And this is what we as vegans should be aware of. There are many psychopathic, sadistic people on the other side who are getting satisfaction from abusing our feelings. And my very serious advice to you is never to approach with open, bleeding heart carnivore community. Against psychopaths, you can only play games. And after all, you can throw them to garbage or flush them to toilet, saying that games are after all boring because they are meaningless. Because life means more than games. What kind of games I would suggest you guys? My very first advice. When someone pushes you, pull. When someone pulls you, push. I will explain this much wider and deeper in the future, but to make story super short. Look, carnivores are playing us with health motive, which I'm really laughing at, because when they pronounce the word health, they truly mean sex appeal. They deliberately play with sex and sexuality and sex appeal, knowing well that sex sells. Everybody knows it. But vegans take it so seriously that they truly believe that we must prove our health. And so many vegans are, going to gym, trying to show their, strength, power, muscles, or blood results. Yes, okay, I also showed my son's blood results in last video, but spontaneously, because he just got them, so I introduced them. I'm not going to promote my health. If you think that I'm losing my hair, that I am a skeleton, I was called this many times already, so yeah, okay. Call me skeleton, yeah. Magdalena is putting a pressure on me, saying that I should show my body, I must take off my clothes. And she doesn't know what she's asking for. All those videos about aging, actually they're trying to mock our theoretical lack of sex appeal. This is what they are talking about. Age is sexuality. Some more reflection about health, what it means. We are not fighting for health, who is more healthy. We are fighting for followers. We are fighting to who will attract more people. This is what we are fighting for. This is typical showbiz, in this meaning, of course. In my generation, I grew up on, for example, Alice in Chains music, Soundgarden, Seattle bands, and of course metal bands. If you know Alice in Chains band, do you think Lane Staley was a picture of health? But I loved him so much. How about Chris Cornell? Alcoholic, drug addict. In my generation, nobody cared about health. There was no such cult. And I don't believe right now, in our current situation and current narrative, we are really truly talking about health. Getting back to my advice, to picturize what I mean, let's consider a few examples. For example, I think that Ed has this kind of emotional intelligence to use this. He has very fine video about being a soy boy. And he says, they are accusing me to be a soy boy. And he says, yeah, I love soy. I am a soy boy. And I think this is fantastic. This is what it is about. Let me tell you another story out of a vegan-carnivores conflict and this whole mess. I used to be a part of rock metal community and music world. I was singing in various bands and performing and knew many musicians. And I remember one funny situation. We were sitting in a studio and one actually very talented musician was talking about Justin Timberlake, who was a rising star in that time. And he said that if they made him to sing such songs, such horrible songs, he would rather commit suicide. Those guys felt so strong, so actually, yes, they were very talented and they made very good music, but never became as successful as Justin Timberlake became. So they were laughing at him, making jokes. Of course, Justin himself has never heard those jokes, but supposedly he got a chance to hear them. Did he try to prove that, no, I am more manly, I am more in whatever way? I think his collaboration with the Lonely Island is the best answer to it. Especially if I take the song Three Way or the other super funny song Mother Lover. I love this song. I think that's the best answer. Is just improving he's bigger, stronger, or more fit, or more healthy. He played like the opposite. And I think this is a perfect example to express what I mean. Getting back to our conflict, yes, and the way we are playing with those psychopaths. And let me show you, as an example, how I try to deal with Garland Farms. He wrote to me, I don't play psychological games. That's the vegans' playbook. No, all psychopaths are playing games. Vegans laughing at crop and so on. And this is the most important. I have intellectually destroyed every misanthropic vegan I've ever debated via face-to-face conversation or via video. Then I asked, where are those videos? Just take a look how I dealt with this situation. After he said he destroyed, I didn't fight back. I wrote, your goal is to destroy, while mine is to have a meaningful conversation from which both sides can learn something. I hate winning with guys because I know how important for them is their pride. And I even kind of respect that. So I prefer to play 10% of my potential while making sure both sides' experience is meaningful. Your language predominance should help us create a level playing field. Of course, for your followers, you will always be a winner, no matter what. But hopefully, this is not what you expect. I hope you are more than your fans. Okay, so you see here that I used this, let's call it technique, that when he pushed me, he said he wants to destroy me. I pulled. What happened next? Now we see that actually the debates he had ever had were all in the real world. So he has just said that he has destroyed all his opponents in all the videos. Now we see there were no videos. And before he said that he destroyed, and now he is telling some story that he helped one woman from his neighborhood, and in the end, God bless that woman. You can see this whole comment. So look how everything changed. Before he said he destroyed. Now he says the story how he helped. So now he has a huge problem. He cannot decide about his attitude to me. He's expressing his support. I don't think he will find courage to meet me face to face because his audience is expecting him to destroy me. But probably he doesn't want to destroy me anymore. He has a problem. Yet I would like to negotiate with him, reducing the evil he's producing aside of his main activity. I know how uncomfortable for him can be meeting me online in a debate he's not gonna win. because he would be fighting with his own shadow. He cannot win. But if he wants, I can offer him a private consultation. Let's talk about what you are really doing. Really. Because I understand what your channel is about. In every second, I know what you are doing. And I know how huge is your problem. Okay, let's move to Michelle Lowe, but maybe starting from the context of Garland Farms, because he has been chasing her for pretty long and couldn't get her attention. She was also sadistic towards him. He has produced 13 videos about Michelle Lowe. He's so much jealous about Frank Tufano and Michelle giving so much attention to Frank. I will tell you what I think about it, because for me it is also a questionable situation, a bit strange, because the question, does Frank Tufano deserve so much attention? Number 2 question, how much of Frank Tufano's success is because of vegans, thanks to us? How much we gave him this chance? How much we vegans funded Frank Tufano's career? How many of his views come from vegans? Where, at which point Frank Tufano would be now if we didn't support him that much with so many videos about him? To be honest, I have never heard about his existence until I started watching Michelle Lowe channel. Would I be happier if I didn't know about his existence? He doesn't resonate with me, and I think if somebody make a longer stop at his channel, they must find something interesting there, because for me it's just boring. I will tell you, I will show you, okay, in short. Yeah, I told you. I will tell you about Frank Tufano's channel, how I see it, and like from showbiz point of view, what is it? Because, okay, I look at his channel, what I see. Okay, this is typical pop culture channel about fucking nothing. A lot of nudity, a lot of sex. Yeah, another desperate boy who is trying to come into existence. The only thing we can tell about him is he has pretty eyes. This is his tragedy, I think, because he's like kind of pretty, but not pretty enough. This is this kind of boy who is coming for a casting, and he thinks he's as attractive as other guys next to him and he should get the role, but after all he's rejected, and he's asking why not me, like, but they say you're not good enough, like they always chose someone else, and he never understood why not him, because yeah, the only assets he has pretty eyes, but not as pretty as Riz Ahmed in his category, for example. So if I needed a Pakistani or Indian type of boy, I would definitely go for Riz Ahmed, whose eyes are prettier than Frankie's, and additionally who has some personality. Frankie would get obviously hurt because he would say, why? He's skinny. But he's a true person. We can believe some personality inside. We can look in Ahmed's eyes and they are not empty. So let's face it. Frank Tufano, if you go to his channel, you open the card videos and then you select according popularity. Okay, now I will get a little bit personal, because number 2, okay, both videos I should talk about. Number 1 and number 2, most popular videos. Number 1 video. Vegans are dropping like flies. We had translation of this video in Polish also. So for long time, and this was actually the time when I went vegan, when I became vegan, when I was searching for information for vegan YouTubers, whenever I typed vegan word in my language, always I got the results, vegans are dropping like flies in my own language, which means that this video was translated probably to all main languages of the world, and for the phrase vegans in all languages, probably the result was vegans are dropping like flies. So I had been fighting with this shit in my own language already a year ago. Fortunately, in Poland we were successful, and this person is afraid to show her face again. But let's discuss number 2 video, because you may not know the whole story behind. Number 2 video is Aga in America, another vegan horror story. Okay, I can call this woman my sister because she's Polish like me. And this picture he is using, and not only him, because there are many more American channels, foreign channels using her image for these dirty purposes. So I will tell you from what kind of video this image is coming from. This girl, she's a young woman, she's still a very young woman, but in that time she was mourning, I'm not sure is it the proper word, or grieving. She was grieving after her younger sister's death. I'm not 100% sure whether her sister was younger or elder, but as far as I remember, I think she was younger. She was in her 20s, and she died of cancer after going through all medical procedures like chemotherapy, everything the doctor said. She followed, and she died. And this woman in this picture used by Frank Tufano is the picture from the moment when she's telling to us how devastated she is that her young, probably younger sister has just died after going through all medical procedures, following doctors' advice. And moreover, in that moment, in this image on which Frank Tufano made his fucking career, this woman already knew that she also has a tumor in her brain. And she also was deadly scared she would also die like her sister. Soon, maybe soon. Only because of this huge stressful situation. She already could have lost some weight, couldn't she? Is she supposed to look like a picture of health in this kind of situation? Grieving after close person's death, and knowing that herself she also may encounter this fate soon. Myself, I would probably not be able to sleep, to eat. I would be probably looking like a ghost. And is it anything so weird that this woman, facing this situation, she got scared and she was trying to search for rescue for her in alternative medicine? Yes, because official medicine has just failed. Her sister has just died. So she was searching other methods. Maybe fasting, maybe juice. You know what? No matter what, we have no fucking right to judge her which path she chose, trying to rescue her own life and health. And she seems successful. She is still alive. She's fine. She has kids, healthy kids. So I don't follow her, but I know this particular situation and I know where this picture is coming from. And additionally, Frank Tufano made her teeth red. No, her teeth are not red. This is a beautiful woman with healthy teeth. So he took the picture when she was devastated and additionally made her looking worse. And this is how Frank Tufano came into existence. This is his number 2 most popular videos with 378,000 views. So this is whole story of Frank Tufano. What do we see next? We see next Vigor sucking a banana, and scroll down, probably will be some more banana sucking, and of course a lot of his naked body, and that's it. Whole story about Frank Tufano. Let's not cheat ourselves to pretend that this channel has anything to do with veganism. No, this is pop culture channel using a lot, playing on sexuality a lot, and that's it. So I kind of understand Garland Farms' rage at Michelle Lowe that she gave so much of her attention to Frank Tufano, but rejected to give any of it, really sadistic manner, to Garland Farms. You know, if about me, comparing those two stories, two situations. On one hand, Frank Tufano, a vain boy from a big city who could have been doing other things, probably modeling was his dream. He tried to shoot some makeup tutorials. If he had been more successful on this path, probably he would have stayed there. But veganism became easy topic, and we vegans failed to ignore him, I think. We failed to send him into non-existence. He could have been doing other things. On the other side, there is a farmer for whom the farm is his legacy, is the job he has been learning since he was a boy. Probably the only thing he knows how to do it. It's the means to earn living, to make living for his family. And it's something more. This is something he has been taught since a young boy to be proud of. Cowboys are symbol of America. Even I know it. In some ways, I even share this culture in the meaning that, for example, metal boys were often wearing cowboy boots. It was considered cool. Many guitarists are sharing this style. So being a cowboy is not only a profession, there is a whole culture behind it. So for me, this makes a story. And for me, it makes actually a huge story. The situation of people who used to be proud of who they are, who used to be proud of the legacy of American culture or of all those symbols involved. Moreover, who had been told in the church that this is the right thing. So we are touching two very important things neglected by vegans: culture and religion. So for me, I kind of understand the tragedy of this guy who was brought up in this way, also by church, by his ancestors, and now he hears from vegans how horrible person he is. For me, this makes a story. So I kind of understand his fury at Michelle Lowe. I also don't understand why she chose Frank Tufano. Okay, then a few words to Michelle Lowe. Like I said before, this is very uncomfortable for me. Maybe I will try to skip as much as possible, just say as little as possible. Dealing with guys from the other side, especially when they are psychopaths and when they are sadistic, is kind of a game. It's very exhausting. It's very dangerous psychologically. We can do it and we should do it, but only in very controlled and limited amount. And the question is, how safe it is for our audience? Because you are a psychologist, and I hope you can deal with this. I hope you can clarify your mind after dealing with Frank Tufano. But it is engaging. You have created Frank Tufano. You are one of the creators of Frank Tufano. You made him huge. Was it necessary? I don't mean only you. Today I'm talking about Michelle Lowe, but this is my very general remark to all vegan channels. We are creating anti-vegans. We are giving significance, importance of carnivores. Should carnivores matter for us at all? Where are animals in this whole game? Because this game is not about animals, not about health, of course not. This is sexual game. Let's give it a name. Frank Tufano's channel is sexuality related channel. Who can be Frank Tufano's audience? I can imagine that this would be teenage girl, probably white, who might get attracted by Middle East looking man who has never had experience with such. Are we competing with Frank Tufano in terms of sex appeal? Is our target teenage girls? Let's start creating vegan culture, because Frank Tufano is creating pop culture in his own way. Earthling Ed, funding the sanctuary, is creating culture also. He's not only helping animals, rescuing animals, he will educate people about animals. I would consider this project in terms of culture, because culture is about attention also. So animals will get some attention in his sanctuary, in his upcoming videos related to his sanctuary. I don't want to say that as vegans we should talk only and solely about animals. No. There are so many topics to be covered. I wish we focused on vegan topics more and sent some bad guys into non-existence. Thank you guys for your attention today, and I will be back with new videos soon. See you!